Hey everyone, this is Drake Bell, and you're watching Childhood DVD Fan right here on YouTube.
Hello, how are you doing? You have so many great Drake and Josh questions, so let's answer them. So the first one you ask, what is the full backstory on how I got the role as Clayton? Well, guess what? Clayton was not the first role I ever auditioned for in Drake and Josh. Earlier that season, in the episode, actually, what was it called? But there was a science fair. It's Mindy something Josh. Maybe it was Mindy Loves Josh. I think that's what it was. There was the character of Ethan at the science fair, and it was just like one line. If you want to know for sure, Paul Rust, he got the role. Paul Rust, who later went on to the Netflix show Love. Okay, but then a couple months later, I auditioned again for the role of Clayton, which was was supposed to be one episode. The episode Josh is Done, and originally I had no lines. It was no lines. It was just mumbling. But then, I'll tell you, they thought with my mumbling and not saying words, they were worried if I sounded too, I guess, handicapped, or they didn't want me to sound. I don't think they used politically correct words, but they thought I sounded very disabled, so they thought they should give me words. So I am saying words. Do I own any of the Drake and Josh scripts, glasses, clothes? I'll check it. I'm wearing the glasses I wore on Drake and Josh right now. These are the exact glasses, and I also wore these glasses on Glee, but check it out. Look, there's nothing in them. Can you, on TV, there's also nothing in them. There never was, so there's no reflection. And I have always kept the glasses in this case since I've had them. So I would bring this to Drake and Josh, and I would put them on. But I'm going to show you something else. Because you asked if I had any of the clothes. I actually, see this pair of pants right here. I wore these pair of pants in Josh is Done. I wore these pair of pants in Eric Punches Drake. Even when I came back for Where's Walter, I wore the same pair of pants. I wonder if anyone noticed or knew that. So that's an exclusive right there. But these pants, I also wore this exact same pair of pants on the episode I did of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. What do you think about that? Have you ever watched that show? Zach and Cody, Drake and Josh, 2 shows about with boys' names in the title. And then you ask, out of Josh is Done and Eric Punches Drake, what was your favorite episode out of the 2 to be on? Well, what was special about Eric Punches Drake, because that up until that point, anything I was on as an actor, which was mostly commercials, I'd audition for it. And this was the first time I got an acting job that I didn't have to audition for, because I auditioned for the first one. And I remember it being such a good feeling. Wait, I'm being just invited to set. They like what I did the first time. So that was really gratifying. But also, it was my first time on a sitcom type of set for Josh is Done. And that was really fun. They were both, social media wasn't a thing then, but I wish I took behind-the-scenes pictures. That would have been cool if I had pictures. I don't, and, it's the type of thing where it's I'm just, a guest. I'm here for this episode. I want to be as professional as possible. I don't want to ask for pictures, but that would be cool now if I had. So I guess the moral of the story, whatever you're doing in life, take pictures so you have memories of that. Then you ask, and Eric Punches Drake, how did Clayton know where Drake and Josh lived? Because, I showed up at Drake's store asking, why? Yuck. Because he spit mouthwash in my water. Well, I'll tell you something. A lot of schools, they have directories with everyone's address. So, it wasn't that hard to find. So Clayton didn't do anything just stalkerish, but he just utilized the school's directory. Then you ask any other cool behind-the-scenes stuff, secrets from your time on Drake and Josh? Well, I'm trying to remember. So we filmed at Nickelodeon Studios off of Sunset Boulevard, and kind of near that there was a music store named Amoeba, and Drake enjoyed walking over to Amoeba, and there was like this fast food place called Jack in the Box, which I've never been to, but then some of the cast walked over to that, and for Eric Punches Drake with a lot of the other guest stars, we walked over there, and I remember some of them calling it Jack in the Crack, which I thought was a strange. And these are just memories, like I don't even know if that's interesting, but that's, remembering that. Playing Connect 4 with Miranda Cosgrove was fun. Never got to have any scenes with her. Never got to have scenes with the parents, but I remember talking to Jonathan Goldstein a lot, and he was really cool. But yeah, my time there, even though now these 2 episodes are memorable, it's really pretty short. Like, I was on Drake and Josh probably for a total of less than 2 minutes if you put all my scenes together, from the lab, you mix this up with this stuff, you mix this stuff, and Drake's, I don't know what you're doing, and I'm like, I'm just trying to do my experiment and not have any mix this stuff, and then the why. It was so quick. I had no idea when I was doing it that it would be so popular all these years later. I've done maybe over 45 different television shows, and things like that, but Drake and Josh, Wizards of Waverly Place, and Glee, they remain consistently the 3 that I'm the most recognized for. And you ask, how was it being a part of the Where's Walter? How were you asked? I was asked via cell phone. I got a call from Drake. I was like, oh, Drake's calling. And we've run into each other and stuff over the years, but it doesn't call too much. So I was like, oh, what is... And then he told me about it, and I was like, that sounds cool. And over the years, there's been people who would say, oh, you should probably do Clayton or do that voice on social media. And I never knew if I was allowed to, or I didn't. So I never did it. But then having permission, like from Drake, or, that was a great reason and excuse to do it. So that was really fun. And I got to wear those pants. I brought back these glasses. And that was cool. And then I think a lot of it was taken off of YouTube, but there was, there was an 11 or 12 minute thing where I was at UCLA handing out flyers trying to ask where people saw Walter. And then I asked, do I still keep in touch with any of the Drake and Josh cast? Even behind the scenes crew can be the answer if it's none of the cast. I feel like several times a year I'll run into Drake or Josh. Never ran into them at the same time, but I last ran into Josh actually hiking at a hiking trail called Fryman Canyon, where I've seen him there multiple times. And I also, last time I saw Drake, we ran into each other at the mall, too. Oh, you know why it's called the mall, right? Because it's not just one store. It has the mall. I hope that this was informative, and thanks for asking all these good questions. Bye!
Hey, this is Jonathan Goldstein Walter from Drake and Josh. I just want to thank you for watching Childhood DVD Fan right here on YouTube.